Guatsi, Hopa, Bonjour. My name is Michael Ray. I'm the director of the American Indian Program here at New Mexico State University, and we welcome you back to our American Indian Program Welcome Back event. And at this time, our faculty will be talking about some of the classes that they are a part of and may be able to help out with. Our programs will be talking about things that they are able to help out when it comes to the intersectionality and resources. And we have one of our student organizations talking about what they're wanting to do when it comes to helping create communities here at NMSU. I also want to have an opportunity to introduce my boss, Lenny Martinez. So if you have any questions, concerns, worries, you always know who to go to.
Well, first, Michael, thank you so much for this opportunity. I certainly do consider it an opportunity. Working with you, it's interesting how you would describe it, that you work for me. I always get the feeling that I'm working for you. And in that regard, I think that we've got this thing turned exactly the way it should be, because you turn it the other way in the way that you believe that your job is that you're working for the students. And so I think that that's really kind of the way we should be looking at this. For me, the paramount thing is, first of all, that we have people who are coming to New Mexico State University, and with the history that we have of, I worked at Sandia, I retired from Sandia National Laboratories. I was a vice president, and I was probably the first from this region to be, a person of color to be a vice president, a technical VP at Sandia National Laboratories. So even back then, we would come to New Mexico State and we would hire students to come and work at Sandia. And the one thing that we knew for sure, we knew three things about every student that would come from here. Number one, they had the courage to tell you what they knew and the confidence to tell you what they didn't know. Every other school that you go to in the country, they know everything about everything, but it was so refreshing to come and talk to someone from NMSU. It was that combination of confidence and competence that was really refreshing. The second thing was they knew how to work with other people. And that to me is just foundational at NMSU. The fact that you're here with us makes us whole. We would not be NMSU without you. It's the ability to interact with people horizontally and vertically. Michael's one of the best examples I know, that he himself will tell you, he'll go into any place and he'll start asking questions and start talking. Well, he's one of our best alum. And by the way, all of our alums do that. You don't have to be here the whole time to become an alum. Anytime that you come to New Mexico State University, that becomes a part of who you are as you go out. The final thing that I would say is, besides being able to work well with each other, the people from New Mexico State knew how to work. I can't emphasize that enough, The story, in fact, that I like to tell is, someone may come to NMSU and they can be lazy when they get here, but when they leave, they're not going to be. They're going to be purpose-filled. They're going to know that they have a place in this world and they have a role to play. And I'm so proud of New Mexico State University being able to reach into communities such as yours. And for you to choose us, it's an honor that we would have you here. So with that, I continue to work for Michael. I hope to do a good job. If I don't, you tell Michael, and then I'll do better. But while you're here, you do the best you can. Right now, we're in a health crisis kind of a situation. The one thing that I'm so proud of as well, of the other things I mentioned, is that the students are actually our partners in working through this. NMSU didn't make rules and then say, here, you students, here you go do it. What we did is we reached into the community and said, we need help. We need your help. And the partners are signing up. You'll see Michael has his mask. He carries it with him since day one. He's been carrying that mask with him. And so he inspires me to always remember that the reason I wear my mask is because it's something I can do for you. And when you wear your mask, it's something you can do for everybody else as NMSU. So I'm looking forward to being partners with you until we get through this together. And believe me, we will be in this together. Welcome. Glad you're here. You make us whole.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Martinez. We will now be going to our faculty, who will start off with Dr. Jeanette Haynes Ryder.
Sio Tohijo, Jijalagi, Genetic Obeliske, Dagwadoa. Hello, I am Dr. Jeanette Haynes Ryder. I'm a full professor in curriculum and instruction in the College of Education. I'm Tsalagi. I'm a citizen of Cherokee Nation. I'm from northeastern Oklahoma, not too far from Tulsa. So that's my home and always will be my home, and I try to go back as much as I can. I have been here now entering my 25th year at New Mexico State. I teach multicultural education. That's a required course for those who want to become teachers. This semester I have a graduate level course in Native education. I've taught curriculum theory, a number of different courses for my department since being here. Some of my research, I have focus in tribal critical race theory, teacher education, Native education, so around Native identity, and I would say that my work crosses over into Native American Studies and would probably be a Native American Studies in education course. So I just want to welcome you to New Mexico State, those who are returning, but especially those who are coming to us for your first semester. I want you to take advantage of all the resources that NMSU offers you. I want you to really keep in touch with American Indian programs. That's very important, and I would say that that is my secret to my success when I was an undergrad student. I am from a rural community, so I'm a farm girl. When I went to University of Oklahoma, the college campus and the population was so much bigger than the little rural town that I came from, and certainly my rural community. So I kind of got lost, but it was the American Indian Student Services Center where I was able to get tutoring, that I got very involved with the American Indian Student Association, and that became my hub for understanding what the university was about. And really, those friends back in the day are still my friends today. So please take advantage of the American Indian program here at NMSU. As well, if I can ever do anything for you, please contact me at Jeanette at nmsu.edu. That's JEANETTE at nmsu.edu. I'm happy to help. I also used to work in student services, so I know what it's like to be in a place that you're not quite sure what the academic culture is, or if you have some questions about policy. I'm very glad you're here. I hope that we have some time to get to meet face to face, and that we'll be able to have some conversations about what your goals are. If you're interested in education in some aspect, please let me know. Again, welcome to NMSU.
Next, we will have Dr. Don Pepion talking about the Department of Anthropology and the Native American Studies program in the College of Arts and Sciences.
Hello, my name is Don Pepion. I'm a professor in the Anthropology department. My colleague, Dr. Georgina Badoni, and I invite you to take some of the interesting and exciting courses we teach in Native American Studies. The Anthropology 305V Contemporary Native Americans is a popular Viewing the Wider World course. The Anthropology 2140G, Indigenous Peoples of North America, usually fills right away. It serves as a general education course for anyone. The Anthro 455 Federal Indian Policy draws Native students as well as many others. Dr. Badoni has some new and appealing courses on topics such as Native American women and Native American visual culture. Our interdisciplinary courses fulfill requirements in other areas such as Borderlands and Ethnic Studies Certificate, Museology Certificate, Government, History, and others. In fact, we encourage you to consider obtaining either or both of the undergraduate and graduate minor degrees in NAS. These courses enhance one's ability to capture jobs in tribal government, tribal museums, and cultural affairs officers, as well as positions in the state and federal agencies such as the Bureau of Land Management, National Park Service, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and others. The requirements for the minor degrees in NAS are listed in the NMSU website under the Anthropology department. As a way of introduction, I say, okay, Nistu Pikani, Nitaniko Itsimaki. I am Pikani, or Blackfeet. My name is Stabs Down. I'm an enrolled member of the Pikani, or Blackfeet Indian Nation in Canada and Montana. I participate in our traditional culture and ceremonies. I am a member of the Brave Dog Society and the Rough Riders Society. I was inducted by the spiritual elders into the Holy Medicine Pipe Bundle Society, as well as the Beaver Bundle Society. I am a professor in the Anthropology department. I have a Doctor of Education degree in the areas of adult, community, and higher education from Montana State University. My research interests are listed on the Anthropology website at nmsu.edu. My most recent publication is a book chapter entitled An Introduction to Indigenous Ways of Knowing, a Blackfeet Perspective. It is in a book published in 2020 called Indigenous Ways of Knowing in Counseling, Theory, Research, and Practice, edited by Dr. Lisa Grayshield and Dr. Ramon Del Castillo. Lastly, we acknowledge these ancient homelands of Native people. We honor our Native students who seek to improve the quality of life of their people. Thank you.
We're now going to be going into the library when it comes to Dr. John Sandstrom, Acquisitions Librarian.
Halito. My name is John Sandstrom. I'm an enrolled member of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma and the Acquisitions Librarian here at New Mexico State University. I'd like to welcome you back to the university, and I hope that your time here continues to be really fun and informative. If there is anything I can help you with, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can either find me through the library website or ask at the center, and they know how to get hold of me. Welcome back, and I look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Sandstrom. We're now going to go back to the Department of Anthropology when it comes to Native American Studies with Dr. Georgina Badoni.
Welcome back, Aggies. Yate, she Georgina Badoni in the Shia, not Otanet Haching in the Shle, Kiltichine Bashichin, Bipitwane Dashiche, Kinyaane Dashanele. I am an assistant professor here at NMSU with the Department of Anthropology in Native American Studies. This semester I am teaching 3 courses. I am teaching Native American Women, Native American Visual Culture, and Native Nations of North America. This is my office. Due to COVID, I am not holding office hours this semester. I am completely by appointment, but when we are authorized to interact again, you are welcome to stop on by. I am located in Breland Hall, room 301. I look forward to meeting you in person. If we do not meet here on campus, you are welcome to take any of my courses. Next semester, I am teaching the history of Native American education. I look forward to meeting you in the future. Please do not be shy and introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself. Don't be that Indian that acts like they don't know me. So please come up to me and say hello and introduce yourself. This is what I look like without a mask, but you might see me on campus wearing this. So this is what I look like with a mask. So please introduce yourself. Native communities, we need to gather, we need to interact, and we need to be there for each other. And that's what I'm here for. I am another Native faculty on this campus that is here for you to support your academic success and needs. So please feel free to reach out to me. Again, I'm in Breland Hall, room 301, and I am also at the functions that American Indian Student Center sponsors. So please reach out. Again, welcome back and good luck.
And thank you very much for that, Dr. Badoni. Now, these are only a few of our Native American faculty. We have a couple more on staff. So definitely, if you have the opportunity to have classes with them or go through the process of looking through our phone book at NMSU, please reach out to them and see what they're involved with when it comes to the research they're doing, but also the classes that they may be offering in the various colleges. We're next going to be going into some of the programs and student organizations that might be able to help you through your educational journey. So we're going to start with the Black Student Association and Black programs.
Well, first off, I do want to say welcome students to the new year 2020. Unfortunately, this is going to be slightly different, but we're all here to work together to get this year going. I want to explain to you students about Black Student Association. The Black Student Association promotes the interests of Black students of the New Mexico State University campus. We advocate for rights and privileges, and we would love to go out and teach the NMSU community and public as a whole of the significance of Black culture. I am inviting you all to join me, and as well as the Native American Indian programs, to be a part of the NMSU community, and in hopes to which our BSA slogan is remembering the past, embracing our hardships, and leading our future. This is it. This is the year. So I definitely want to say, with the help of Miss Kim York, she is our director for BSA, and she is also the director of Black programs. She assists us through getting our events going through. We also have our vice president, which is Miss Cynthia Chester, in hopes that you guys can go ahead and see her throughout any of the events that we have this year. And we also have our secretary, Miss Justice Adler, as well. So yeah, so you can go ahead and reach us out at our BSA website. It's under the Black programs, or you can go ahead and email us at my personal email, or blackprograms.nmsu.edu. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful school year.
Hello, my name is Kimberly York, and I'm the Interim Director for Black Programs. We are conveniently located in room 135 of Garcia Center. And while our name suggests that Black Programs only serves Black programs, nothing could be further from the truth. We welcome and embrace all students from all walks of life, regardless of your race, your identity, what you prefer, and what you like to do. We welcome all students. We do have a student lounge that is equipped with computers to provide access to academic supports for you. We also have a printer that you are able to use. We also have a nice comfy couch, so if you're in between classes, once COVID is over, you can come over and just chill and relax for a little bit. Some of the other services that we provide for students, it includes tutoring support. We also make sure that we can get students connected to not only on-campus resources, but community resources as well, because we recognize that students come and have different types of needs. And so if there's something on campus that we can't directly provide for you or actually get you directly connected to, we will make sure that we go above and beyond to try to get those things for you in the community. Some of the key programs that we have under our umbrella, we have the privilege of having the Black Student Association, which I'm sure you already heard about. But some of the other programs that we offer, one is our graduate initiative, and that is a brand new program that we have this year, and that is specifically for graduate students and for doctoral level students. We also have a brand new program that we are launching literally in a matter of days right here in your own building, and it is called Success Through Sisterhood. And while we welcome all students into that program, the overarching goal is to make sure that we can provide students of color, female students of color, with support and services that they need, because we know that sometimes those needs are very different than other student populations. And so one of the aspects of that program is going to be a health initiative where we're going to be talking about the importance of health in the minority communities. We're also going to be making sure that you have access to professional mentors that look like you, that operating and working in the fields that are of interest to you. Another thing that we are very proud of is that we have the ability to connect students with scholarship opportunities, both through Scholar Dollar, so make sure that you complete that, but we also have access to external scholarships. Community service is another major pillar of Black programs as well, because we understand that students need to have a sense of community, not just on campus, but in the greater Las Cruces and New Mexico community as well. And so we proudly right now partner with the Lane Community School to make sure that we can help provide food that is needed for families that are in need right now. Another key thing that we offer is Elders Luncheon. And so that's an opportunity for, in our community, our elders are very important, just as they are in your community. It's an opportunity to bring both the generations together, so to talk about key common interests, but also to exchange ideas about how we can work better together and how we can become a close-knit community. The last thing that I would like to share with you is about our graduation celebration, and that is typically done in tandem with the university's graduation celebration. It's typically a day or two away, and this is an opportunity for Black programs to highlight all of our students that have worked so hard over the semester, over the years, to obtain their degree. And so we provide stoles for the students. We also provide opportunities for alumni to come and speak. We also make sure that current students that are graduating have an opportunity to share their journey that they have been on, and also making sure that families can get together, be it virtually or in person. And we had the privilege this year of sharing the stage with American Indian programs, and we're looking forward to doing that again. So we have a number of ways that stay in touch with us, and so one of those ways is the convenience of email. And so you can email us at blackpro@nmsu.edu. We also have a website, and if you would like to join, even though it's not necessarily a membership, we want to make sure that we are keeping in contact. And so we have a link that says Join Black Programs, and you can click on that link on our website, which is blackprograms@nmsu.edu, and you can click on that link, and it'll give you an opportunity to provide your name, contact information, so that we can stay in touch with you in that way as well. We also have an Instagram page, and it is Black NMSU. So again, I'm Kimberly York, Interim Director of Black Programs. We wholeheartedly welcome you, and we look forward to serving you in the near future. We are located in room 135 of Garcia Center.
Thank you very much for that, Ms. Wright and Ms. York. We'll now continue with Chicano programs and the services that they offer.
Hola, bienvenidos. Welcome to Chicano programs at New Mexico State University. My name is Dr. Judith Flores Carmona, and I'm the interim director for Chicano programs. Here at Chicano programs, we are open to support, provide services, and support you in your education, regardless of your ethnic background. So even though we have Chicano in our name, we serve all students at New Mexico State University.
Hello everyone, I'm Marisela Mendoza here with Chicano Programs. I'm the student program coordinator. I would like to inform you guys about the student services that we provide for students. Our office offers informal advising, so anytime you guys have a question or concern about anything, either academic-wise, financial aid-wise, or personal issues, we can set up an appointment, and you can come talk to me or the director, and we can hopefully do the best way possible by providing resources in the community, providing resources in NMSU, or connecting you with other folks that may be able to answer your questions. We also offer scholarships for Hispanics and other minorities. from across the U.S., fellowship opportunities, internship opportunities that we post on this email list called Ratliff. So if you'd like to subscribe to Ratliff, we are asking right now for if you could email us with your information, such as your Aggie ID, your NMSU email, and a phone number. My email is mari719@nmsu.edu. It's mari719@nmsu.edu. So just email me with that information and we can subscribe you to the list. If there's any more questions, of course, our number is 575-646-4206. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Flores Carmona and Ms. Mendoza. We're now going to continue with Dr. Patrick Turner in the First Year Experience and Men of Color Initiative.
How's everybody doing out there? It is happy. I'm glad that Michael invited me to this talk because I think it's very important to kind of have this experience. Well, first of all, like I said, I am happy to be here because the first year experience is such an important part. It has a great place in my heart because, again, it is kind of that transitional period when you're moving either from high school into the college environment, or you're transferring from another institution, depending on, or you may have graduated from high school a few years ago and laid out maybe a few years, and you want to kind of get back on that track and kind of get that college degree that you've always had in the back of your head. So whatever your reasons for entering college, the first year experience role is to help that transition be seamless, to help you transition not only into the academic piece of the college experience, but also that social piece, which oftentimes we think college is just about academics, which is great. It is about that academic piece, but you also want to have that social experience. I was always kind of raised that college is kind of a small world of the larger world. It was like it's a model of the real world. This is where you learn who you are, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. You make your great friends here. You join different organizations, from social organizations to professional organizations. So our role is to kind of help you make that a seamless transition so you can be successful. And the first year experience is not really just the first year. That's just a critical piece, because sometimes making that adjustment can be difficult. But the way we have our program set up is that we provide that support throughout the entire your journey, from the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, because we know the first year is what sets that solid foundation. But as you become and grow from that sophomore, junior to senior year, that you will need different things at different junctures of your academic and social career. So our role is to really make sure that that is a threaded experience, it's a connected experience. And what we do, we focus on several pieces of the first year experience. We definitely focus on that social engagement piece. Because what we do know is connecting students to organization, connecting them to friends, connecting them to football games, basketball games, professional organizations, building that network and close friendships help makes a successful transition. Then we also focus on that study successful piece, those skills that you need, from time management to study skills to how to use library resources. So we make sure that we partner with the library and the different resources that you need, the Student Success Center, the Tutoring Center, to make sure that you're academically supported, because oftentimes one of the challenges that we have when we transition into school or college is that we think we need to know everything, that we should always know everything from math to science to English to Spanish. But no, this is a new world for you, and we understand that this is a new world for you. So we don't expect you to know everything. That's where we come in, that we connect you to those resources that you need to kind of help you transition into the college environment. Then we focus on that faculty-student relationship, which is key. So we connect with faculty. We try to make sure students understand that relationship is very important, and also connect with the faculty to let them know that they need to build that relationship with students, because the faculty member is the person that students see all the time, every day, all day. You're in the classroom. You spend more time with them than you do with the other resources around campus. So it only makes sense that you build that connection with faculty, formal and informal, because these are the people that will write you letters of recommendations. These are people who can help you get internships. These are people who can connect you with other folks in your discipline. So that relationship is very important when we're thinking about that. And then that other piece is peer mentorship, that connecting you with your peers so you can kind of learn what happens on a day-to-day basis. You know, because that's the key piece, that we can talk to students about what happens around the college environment, but we're not living that every day as a student. We're living that experience as an administrator, as a program director or coordinator. But it's great that they can hear from their peers, whether they're sophomores or juniors and seniors, who can recommend particular classes to take, who can recommend different activities to go to, you know, who can speak in the language that the students can understand. So the first year experience is what we call a holistic experience, where we're looking at all the various components to make students successful. And we have a class which is a University 150, and it's called the first year experience class, where you can kind of learn all of these things in the classroom with the instructor. You're building a cohort or a group of friends in this class. And even with that, we have a peer educator in that class. You have the instructor, then you also have a peer there who can kind of help you transition to the college environment as well. So students can take that first year experience course. It counts as an elective. So it's not like you're just taking a course and it's not counting toward anything. It is a 3 credit hour course that you can take during your first year or your first semester. It counts toward being an elective, but it also teaches all those different things that I just went over. And the good thing about this class is we get out and about around campus, so we would take the students to the activity center, where they do team building, like with the rock climbing wall. So they as a group, they go to the activity center and they do different team building exercises. Our peer educator will take them to the career fair when we host a career fair on campus. Right now it's virtual, but again, teaching them how to communicate with possible employers. Some of them may not be looking for a job, but others may, so they can see what it takes to kind of go and speak to these employers and kind of be your professional self, from your resume, from the way you dress, how you interact. You know, so we do a lot of stuff inside and outside the classroom to kind of let students know the college experience is not just one piece. There's several different components, and we want them to kind of make the best of that whole experience. That if you're going to be here for 4 or 5 years, this is your home, and you need to feel like you belong here, that you have a voice here, and that this is your campus. It's not NMSU campus. This is your campus, and we want students to feel that way. So that's the piece with the first year experience. With the Men of Color, again, it's a program that is necessary for at this time, because men, you know, from African Americans to Native Americans to Hispanic Americans, you know, we typically trail behind when we talk about academics, from retention, from staying in college to progressing through college to graduating in college. So there's a gap there that needs to be filled, or there's some support there that is needed that is not happening. So the purpose of the group is, again, to focus on that academic and that social piece about, you know, we bring in various speakers to talk to the males about, you know, maybe their profession and how they kind of navigate their profession, how they got into their profession, some of the challenges probably of being a male of color, being in that particular profession. We brought in police officers, we brought in superintendents of the Las Cruces public system. You know, so the purpose of this group is really to provide that support that oftentimes males don't get, or we don't reach out for that type of support. So we create this safe environment so we can have these engaging conversations. We can go hiking, we can have fitness days, whatever it is, but it's really just to build that community, social community, as well as an academic community, to kind of start challenging each other, but yet supporting each other. So that's kind of the typical premise for the Men of Color. We have just launched our new website, which I'm proud of. The website, we had a great website before, you know, because I believe in having an engaging website with the pictures and everything that you need to kind of make a sound and informed decision, you know, because again, it's not always about the skill set that we're looking at, like, oh, what type of workshops are you having? But oftentimes parents and students want to have a visual of the people that you're coming in contact. They want to have a visual of the things that you're doing. So I'm proud of this website, because we worked hard on it, not only to give you the content information you need, but kind of to give you a visual of what we do as well. But they can contact me at my email address, which is PE Turner at nmsu.edu. It's PETURNER at nmsu.edu. Or you can contact me directly, and my number is 575-646-7926. And again, that's 575-646-7926. Or you can visit us at our website, and you can kind of just Google us and put first year experience NMSU, and it'll bring a link up to our website. But again, we are trying to update it every day. We try to keep it current with everything that we're doing. So what you see right now is all the new stuff that we've added to the website. Recently, we just added maybe a series of about 7 workshops that student organizations or parents or other departments on campus can bring us in to do guest speaking. One speaks about the psychology of money, pretty much talking to students how we develop our spending habits and our saving habits. We have one about the first year experience. We talk about the great things about the first year experience and how to connect to resources. We talk about grit and perseverance in one workshop, that all of us have some level of grit and perseverance, that we've gotten this far to college because of grit and perseverance. So that same type of grit and perseverance that helped you get this far will take you further. It's just applying what you've learned in high school or in your life and just applying those skill sets to the college environment. And then we have one about necessary narratives, meaning telling your story, that all of us have a story to tell. And oftentimes when you tell the story, it's very therapeutic to you, to help share your story, but then also it's powerful and it moves others to tell their story. So oftentimes the story that we share empowers others to tell their story, but it also lets them know that they have something to say as well. And we will oftentimes have in sharing our stories, we find a lot of similarities that we have. So we have this new workshop series that we're launching this semester. So various departments can go to the website and schedule the date. We have a link there. So you can contact me through those 3 different areas. And again, we try to make the website easy for people to navigate. So if you have any questions, definitely send me an email or give me a call.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. We're next going to be talking with the Indian Resource Development. Their director's name is Claudia Trueblood, and she's located in Gerald Thomas Hall. And one of their work studies, Joshua Capitan, will be talking about some of the services that they offer.
The Indian Resources Development offers educational and professional development opportunities for Native American high school and college students from New Mexico, and promotes self-directed and self-sustaining travel, economic development, and management of resources, focusing on areas of agriculture, natural resources, engineering, and business. Information about opportunities relating to graduate programs, apprenticeships, internships, and financial aid can be found at the link provided. If you are interested, we encourage you to look into applying for the IRD Youth Advisory Committee to provide insight and guidance relating to how best serve tribal youth in New Mexico. Be bold, shape the future.
Thank you very much, Josh, for that. We are now going to be talking with Hector Sanchez, who is the Director of Military and Veterans Programs.
Thank you, Michael. Again, my name is Hector Sanchez, and I'm Director of Military and Veteran Programs here at New Mexico State University. I always like to tell people that we are everything military, everything veteran. If you have a question on any issue dealing with veterans or military programs or families, we are a one-stop shop in that regard. And I also like to tell people that we help our students in all phases, from the admissions process all the way to graduation, and then finding them a job, which is one of the most important things that we try to do with our office and helping our students. One of the biggest things that we do is advocacy, whether a veteran's having or a dependent is having issues in the classroom or housing issue or a variety of different issues. We want to make sure that our office is open to them so that we can advocate regardless of their situation that they may be in. Even though we may not be the determinators or the final authority, we can at least point our students in the right direction so that they can get the services and advocacy that they need. One of the other things that we pride ourselves for is that we not only help veterans and dependents, but we help all students because we know that veterans are a big population and everyone knows a veteran. and everyone can help a veteran. So all of our events that we do, all of the services that we offer are open to all of our students, regardless of whether they're affiliated with the military or they're not. One of the biggest things we do, besides being advocacy as well, is we help our students with their GI Bill educational benefits. In order to receive GI Bill benefits, you have to be certified. You have to come to our office so that you get your classes certified. And so we help our veterans and our military through the whole process of applying for an application through vets.gov to getting them the correct paperwork that they need, to getting them the correct advising paperwork so that we can certify our dependents and our veterans for educational benefits, which is critical for many of them to get their housing, get their book stipend, and pay for their tuition and fees that they need to continue on with school. We also help active military with their tuition assistance programs. We understand all the processes through the Go Army Ed portals, the Navy portal, the Air Force portal, and we can help our students navigate through that whole maze of different things that they need to do to turn into their squadrons, their platoons and whatnot. So we help with that as well. The other thing that we do within our office is we hold many events throughout the year to celebrate and honor our veterans and for all the sacrifices they've made. Military Appreciation Week in November, or the Bataan Death March in March. We hold these events with our office, and they're open to all of our students. Anyone can participate and be a part of our events that we have here on main campus, whether it's an actual event or a virtual event that obviously we're holding more of now more than ever. We do have an office. Right now we are working remotely, but our office, when we open, does have a computer lab. We do have a lounge area, and eventually we want all of our students to be able to come, have some coffee, some donuts, and partake into our office, which is located at Corbett Center. We're in room 244, second floor, east side entrance to the building. And it's, again, open to all of our students as well. And lastly, that I'd like to make sure that you understand is that we have a lot of scholarships that are available to our veterans and our dependents through the Scholar Dollar application. I encourage every one of you, whether you are affiliated with the military or not, to complete the Scholar Dollar application, because many times those are money that you can use to finance your education, and many times without having to pay it back. And I encourage all of you to make sure that you complete the Scholar Dollar application, complete it fully, because many of the students that I share advisory type of boards with the scholarships, we're looking for those students that are telling us about what they're going to do, what are their dreams, where are they going to go, what they want to do with their lives. And if you take the time to answer those questions, you will most likely will get a scholarship, because unfortunately many students do not answer all the questions. They just answer the basics and really don't put much effort into it. So I encourage all of you to make sure that you complete the Scholar Dollar application and make sure you complete it fully and accurately as best to your ability. And one last thing, we do have military housing for families that are available at the family housing. It is an area devoted to veterans that want to share a common area to live and to go to school. We do not administer that program through our office, but we definitely coordinate with the housing to make sure that if you are interested in a housing and family housing unit, that with other veterans, that there are availability of those units. And in fact, just recently they updated not just a little bit of the outside, but are putting new stoves and refrigerators and new little perks. Now this is older property, but it just makes it a lot easier for our veterans and our dependents to live in them. And again, if you have any questions on any of the services that we provide in our office, you can contact us in many ways. You can contact us through email, obviously, at mbp@nmsu.edu. We also have an enormous amount of information on our website at mbp.nmsu.edu. It just has a lot of information on scholarships, information of the types of services we offer, the information on how to complete educational benefits, organizations that are wanting to help veterans. Also, I just can't really tell you how important our website is and the wealth of information that is on there. We're also on Teams. You can contact us through Teams at mbp@nmsu.edu. We can also set up conference calls and also conference video through Zoom or Teams to contact with you on any issues that you may have. I want to welcome you and to our office, welcome you to our events, and I hope to look to see you forward in the next days, months, and years with you coming to our events and coming and using our services if that's what you need to do. And again, Hector Sanchez with Military and Veteran Programs. Thank you.
We will be talking with our LGBT plus program. Camika Leiva will be talking about the program, but the program is run by Dr. Sophia Poog.
Hello, my name is Camika Leiva, and I am a sophomore at NMSU. I am in charge of online programming at NMSU's LGBT programs. I am also the president of the Gay Anime Club, and I'm happy to inform you of what LGBT programs is doing and the resources we have that you could share. We are located on the second floor of Corbet, room 204A. Our typical hours are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Our director is Dr. Zoe Sophia Pook, and should you ever have a question, feel free to stop by or email us at lgbt@nmsu.edu. The mission of our office to promote the diversity and inclusion of all students, faculty, and staff of all genders and sexual orientations, and to offer the NMSU community the resources you need. We have a computer lab with free printing that is available to all students. This is a comfortable and inclusive space that you can feel free to use to do homework and work on research. We also have a lounge area with a refrigerator and microwave, so feel free to come hang out, eat your meal, watch Netflix or whatever you do for fun, and make some new friends. All are welcome. We have event series in the fall and spring, October, and Pride season. These events are open to all and include things like Halloween and annual drag show, which are among NMSU's most popular events, as well as movies and speaker series. In our program office, we have an LGBT-themed library. This includes books, graphic novels, and movies that are great for research in disciplines like psychology, sociology, and gender studies. Or you can use the library to enjoy a book to read or watch a movie on your own. We also have some great anime and manga. Speaking of which, LGBT programs has 3 student clubs. The first of these are Aggies. Get it? Like Aggies. Anyway, this is a social group that anyone is welcome at that does cool things like game night, watch movies, and discuss matters of sexual and gender identity. The Gay Anime Club is the second group of this that loves to watch anime, talk about anime, and have some fun. Anyone is most definitely welcome, and I'd love to see you there. Gender Diverse Aggies, or GDA, is a group about gender identity. It is a great place to discuss your experiences about being transgender, non-binary, or gender non-conforming, and also to ask questions and to discuss issues on campus. Finally, we have a support group that is run by counselors from Aggie Health and Wellness. This is a great place to discuss your experiences with gender and sexuality. All 3 of these groups are great resources to share with students. LGBT plus programs worked hard with NMSU to create the preferred name rule. Students, faculty, and staff can change their first name on things like email, class roster, and ID card by visiting My NMSU and clicking Update Preferred First Name under Personal Information. This allows individuals who may go by a different name, such as their middle name, a nickname, or a name associated with their LGBT identity. Always use introductions to see what an individual wants to go by, and if you realize they're using a name different from their personal information, let them know about this option. We always use preferred first name to speak with individuals at NMSU. Inclusive housing. This is housing that goes beyond traditional male and female housing. It is an option on the housing application that allows individuals to find a housing assignment that fits their identity. Anyone can choose this option, and housing will work to find a safe, inclusive situation that meets the individual's needs, such as individuals who are LGBT. If you see someone struggling with their housing assignment based on their identity, this is an important option to tell them about. All gender restrooms are restrooms that any individual may use. If a student asks you where one is, make yourself aware of one nearby the area you work. Our website has a map of all gender restrooms on campus that we are constantly updating. Individuals who request this restroom may just wish for more privacy or don't feel comfortable in a restroom marked male or female. It is important to understand where this request is coming from and to point the individual in the correct direction. At NMSU, we never want to use the wrong pronouns for a community member. Please don't assume someone's pronouns by looking at them. Either ask individuals during introductions their pronouns when they introduce their names or write their information down in a group exercise, but do not single anyone out. You can also just use their preferred first name until someone's pronouns have been revealed to you. Some individuals may be unsure what they feel comfortable with, so a name is always a good place to start. Make sure you build trust with your students by asking their names and using what they feel comfortable with. Preferred pronouns and name are explicitly stated in the preferred name rule as what we will use to identify individuals at NMSU. Don't be a bystander. If you see a student in a situation where they are being bullied or harassed or harmful jokes are being made at their expense, please step in, change the subject, and help the student out of the situation. This point is of priority. Once the student is out of this situation, think about the next steps like contacting your supervisor and trying to resolve the situation. If you see discrimination or harassment based on the protected class in the NMSU non-discrimination statement, then you may need to contact OIE with the relevant details. Let students know about the programming on campus. Sharing flyers, groups, and events, and posting them in your area can help students feel more included. We have other diversity offices, such as Chicano programs, Black programs, and American Indian programs. Help us make students aware of the diversity and programming on campus. Also, think about collaborating with other groups when you do the programming. If you have any questions about the information shared today, or you want to collaborate with us on programming, or you just want more information about how to make your area more inclusive, please contact us. We will be happy to assist you. Please let students know more about our services by directing them to the Meet Us tab on lgbt.nmsu.edu. We also suggest you sign up so you can hear more about our programming that we are offering throughout the year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for that information. We will now be talking with Dr. Jesse Haas. He is the director of the Student Accessibility Services, and he can talk a little bit more about what is involved with that program.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Yeah, as Michael Ray put it, I'm the interim director of Student Accessibility Services here. I don't know how long I'll be here, but for as long as I'm here, I will help with any way I can in any capacity that I can. We work with individuals who have either temporary or permanent disabilities. We're also doing COVID-19 exemptions. It kind of depends. So we get a number of different requests here, and then I'll cover some of it within the presentation. I like to start off with the background over the Americans with Disabilities Act, Section 504. I want to begin with the history of the movement for rights for individuals with disabilities. So for a majority of the history of the world, individuals with disabilities had zero rights guaranteed to them. They could apply to higher educational institutions and be denied based on their specific diagnosis. They could apply to jobs and be denied. There were all kinds of limitations placed onto those individuals by society itself. So what we start to see is a shift, a grassroots movement in the 60s on the coattails of civil rights movement, where a lot of individuals just kind of get sick and fed up with this stuff, and they start pressuring the legislatures to enact some kind of protection for individuals with disabilities. You're going to see it's a ton of people from all walks of life. They're basically sick of being treated like second-class citizens. You're going to get a lot of veterans coming back from Vietnam with mobility issues or psychological issues, and they needed help, and they weren't going to be marginalized anymore. So the story, as you'll see in the slide, begins way before 1990. It starts in the 60s, it moves on to the 70s. Finally, in 1973, we get the Rehabilitation Act. It's basically the first legislation that's passed that has any kind of teeth to it that protects individuals with disabilities. However, it didn't do enough, and then there's a bunch of pushback from 73 up until 1990, big businesses and legislators trying to get rid of the 73 Rehabilitation Act. And what we see is a second wave of this social movement, right? A second grassroots movement where individuals said, nah, we're not going to let this continue. And they wanted to ensure that individuals got rights. And two, the 73 Rehabilitation Act really didn't do as much as they had hoped for. So finally, they pressured George H. Bush into signing the 1990 Americans with Disabilities Act. And so let's take a look at Section 504 here real quick. Section 504 basically states that no individual with a disability shall be discriminated against, right? That's the mandate. In my profession, it's pretty gray. You have to do a lot of investigatory work and a lot of working with faculty and staff to identify what does this really mean, right, for each individual. Mostly what we do anymore, in the past, we would look at buildings and offices and try to make sure they were ADA compliant, but now that's kind of taken care of for the most part. What we look at in higher ed is typically accommodations. It's academic adjustments, right? Some tips, some things that you need to know if you do have a diagnosis, then I would recommend you register with our office. Now, in order to register with our office, there's a couple forms you got to fill out, the petition for accommodation form, and then you got to provide us with documentation. If you don't have documentation on the petition, the second page, you can send that to a primary care physician, mental health professional, or whomever that is qualified to give you, to recommend the diagnosis, and they can fill out the second page and you can send that to us, okay? Types of disabilities, there's all kinds of types. I usually break them up into two different types, visible and invisible disabilities. Visible would be the mobility issues, would be deaf and hard of hearing, would be the visual impairments that you see. Some of the invisible is learning disabilities, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, things of that nature. So there's two different broad categories, but there's all kinds of different types of disabilities. This is just kind of a handful of them. Documentation guidelines, you know what? We got to have it from a professional in either the health or mental health professions. If you had an IEP or 504 back in high school, we can utilize that documentation, no problem. But if you don't have one of those, then you need to get it filled out via your professional who's diagnosed you. If it's a learning disability, it would have to be an educational diagnostician. It just kind of depends on what your diagnosis is, right? Again, here's the process. You submit the petition and the documentation to the SAS office. We schedule an appointment to talk. We'll do an interactive discussion to determine reasonable accommodations. We talk a little bit about how to get testing outside the classroom if that's one of your agreed upon accommodations. And then each semester you just ask for accommodations and we make sure we get those to your instructor. What are reasonable accommodation? That again just kind of depends. It's a gray area. Depends on the course you're taking, depends on the program you're in, depends on your diagnosis, depends on a whole bunch of different things. So again, it's a lot of investigatory work on my part, but for the most part, we can do typically a lot of different things. I try to identify what barriers you may have, and then we try to come up with solutions to remove those barriers. So here are the three things we can't do. We can't fundamentally alter the nature of the program. We can't cause undue financial or administrative hardships, and it can't pose a direct threat to health or safety of others. And there's another caveat we can throw in there, which is an unfair advantage. But what does that really mean? Nobody can really give you the true definition of what is unfair, right? So those are the three we mostly look at. Types of accommodation, here are the most utilized types of accommodation. Typically, extra time on tests and quizzes, testing and distraction-reduced environment are the two mostly used. But it just kind of, again, depends. Everything, you'll notice everything depends on your diagnosis and those potential barriers you identify. We can also do course load for you. There's a form that we have that you fill out, we send it to financial aid. There is a timeline. So for the fall semester, for each semester, it's the census date. But yeah, we can adjust, we can do the credit hour adjustment referral for you, which allows you to take less than 15 credit hours. We can do housing accommodation. It kind of depends on what your diagnosis is again and what you're requesting. Your rights and responsibilities, well, you're able to equal access to post-secondary education. Again, reasonable accommodation. We keep everything confidential. We don't share your diagnosis with anybody. We do not discriminate. And then we have an appeal process regarding accommodations and other stuff. Instructors, what do they got to do? Well, they got to meet with you and talk a little bit about your accommodations. They got to include the disability statement on the syllabus. They got to, again, keep all your information confidential. They're supposed to keep your memo on file and sign the faculty receipt form. If you're taking tests and you want to take a test with us, they're supposed to allow that and give us the exam. Support us and you and any auxiliary aids and adaptive technology that's been recommended for an accommodation. To consult with us if there's any questions, and refer students to us if they self-disclose they have a diagnosis. Our responsibilities: determine eligibility and appropriate reasonable accommodations, inform faculty and staff of their rights and responsibilities under the law, provide students with the memos, maintain confidentiality, and facilitate special arrangements, testing, things of that nature. All these other things, chairs, whatever. Service animals, you don't have to register with us if it's a qualified service animal. In other words, it's been trained. But remember, it's got to perform like a service animal. It's got to perform specific tasks based on your diagnosis. If the animal does not act like a service animal, it can be asked to, we can ask you to remove it until it does, right? Again, some tips for you. Just register with us, familiarize yourself with your surroundings, use technology to your advantage, and above all, just be kind to yourself. And then just here's some contact information for you. I'm this interim director for I don't know how long. We got Carol Brown, who's the assistive technology person, Emily Peroni, who's the interpreter coordinator, and Karen Kelly is our admin assistant. And just feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we'll help you to the best of our ability. And welcome to NMSU, and I hope your semester goes well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Haas. We will be now talking with our Student Success Services trio, STEM-H.
Hello, Aggies. Welcome. My name is Jesslyn Ratliff. I am the Program Director of the NMSU Trio STEM-H Student Support Services Program. I really wish that we could be meeting in person on campus so that I could talk to you and get to know you, but given our circumstances, I will try to tell you all about our program via this presentation. I'm so excited to tell you about the services that we provide. Our goal is basically to help you succeed while you're here at NMSU getting your undergraduate degree. So, are you planning to major in science, technology, engineering, math, or any health science field? If so, listen up. Students who are considered first-generation college, low income, or disabled are eligible to receive our services. So you might ask, what does first-generation college mean? That means that neither of your parents would have received a bachelor's degree. So if you have a parent or a guardian who has received a 4-year bachelor's degree, you would not be considered first generation. If neither of your parents or guardians have a bachelor's degree, you are considered first generation college. But keep in mind, you only have to meet one of those requirements to be able to get into our program. You don't have to meet all 3. Only one is required. So also on this slide is a list of the services that we provide, but I want to go into a little bit more detail about these services. As I do go through them, I want you to keep in mind that all of our services are free. Tutoring is one of the services we provide. Our tutors are available to assist you with your STEM and health-related courses. Regarding mentoring, if you are accepted into our program, you will be paired with an upperclassman who is in the same or similar major as you are. They will help guide you as you navigate college. The mentors are really good about holding you accountable to your goals, but also they make sure to keep you on track regarding financial aid deadlines and academic deadlines. We also provide workshops that are designed to improve your skills and prepare you for a successful college experience. Your mentor will help you to make sure you meet FAFSA deadlines to ensure your financial aid is always on track, because that's very important. Also, being a part of TRIO has the benefit of scholarship eligibility. Throughout the year, we will announce different TRIO scholarship opportunities, and the benefit of being in our program is that you can apply for those scholarships. Students who are not a part of our TRIO program cannot apply. So, if you are a part of our program, you really have an upper hand when it comes to these scholarship opportunities. And then when you get to your junior year of college, we will begin to assist you with preparing to enter your career field of choice. If you intend to attend graduate school, we will help you successfully apply for that. We help you to do this by making sure that your resume is professional, that you have recommendation letters, that you have a cover letter. We want to ensure that your packet for any type of application is professional and helps you to succeed. Other perks of our program include free printing, free test scantrons, access to our STEM Center where you can use our desktop computers, laptops, calculators, textbooks, and other STEM resources. Our STEM Center environment allows you to interact with other students and work together to succeed. The students in our STEM Center usually have similar classes or even the same major, and so they end up becoming friends and helpful to each other when they're studying for their exams. Along with our in-person STEM Center environment that I just mentioned, we can also provide all of the services online, even our workshops, tutoring, and mentoring. We also provide other resources, such as a resource page that only TRIO participants have access to, and we also provide very detailed guides that will help you to navigate the technology that you will certainly run into while you're working on your undergraduate degree. So if you're interested in receiving these free services and the support from us as you make your way through your undergraduate degree at NMSU, go ahead, use the link that's provided to apply. The link is stemh.nmsu.edu/apply. So that's stemh.nmsu.edu/apply. Also, don't hesitate to email me with your questions. The email address is stemhsss@nmsu.edu. If you do apply, I will review your application and determine if you're eligible or not. And I will be contacting you via your NMSU email address, so make sure you check that email account. I think you made a great decision to attend New Mexico State University to obtain your higher education, and I look forward to meeting you. Go Aggies!
So now is my opportunity to talk a little bit more about the American Indian program. Now, the American Indian program is here on our campus, and it's been here since around the 70s. It was built out of the civil justice era when it comes to making sure that students had the opportunity to be served in a way that, it's more of a custom to where they're a part of when it comes to that community relationship. So when it comes to that, we have our building, the American Indian Student Center, and we want to make sure that this is one of those places where you can just be a student. You can just be. When it comes to the challenges many of our minority students face, there is a time where you have to be an activist, you have to be a mentor, you have to have multiple hats. We also want to make sure that you just have that time to be a student, because that's first and foremost one of the things you're here for. So we want to make sure that you have a place where you don't have to answer the 20 questions when people find out that you're Native American, and so that way you can just be. You can study in our study area that has those different places we talked about beforehand. You can utilize our commons area when it comes to that non-academic computer usage, or if you're in need for a place when it comes to practicing a PowerPoint presentation or anything to that effect, you can utilize our North Training Room, or for those student organizations who might need a place to meet, that's also there as well. But you might have not seen some of the areas that are located when it comes to our East building. Now, our East building does house our library, so if you have any questions about Native American literature, Native American research, or reference materials, we might have some of the items that Zool Library or Branson Library may or may not have, but it's another location that you can utilize. We do have one of the areas that we call New Mexico State University's hidden secret, and that is our meditation room. Now, as you may know, some of our dorms are not necessarily the most quietest of places, and here in my own community of Laguna, it can get kind of quiet sometimes and peaceful and relaxing. So we wanted to have the meditation room as one of those places you can utilize if you need to do some quiet reflection, or if you just need some time to think some things out. So feel free to utilize our area, and in many of the times when it comes to the American Indian Student Center, all we ask is that you sign on in, and this is so we can keep track of who is in our building, how they're being utilized, but also for those students who are on the 20+ Native American tribal communities that weren't on the checkbox when it comes to your admissions form, we want to see and get a better accurate representation of the communities that are here at New Mexico State University. And as you'll probably get some more information about, we do have 3 student organizations. We have our ACES organization, so that's the American Indian Science and Engineering Society. They look forward to having meetings here pretty soon, and we will get more information on our AIP bulletin and our Facebook and Instagram. We next have our Native American Business Student Association, NAPSA, and they're an organization that has an affinity towards business, but also it's one of those organizations where if you want to learn more about that area, you can definitely learn some more about that. And we also have our United Native American organization, and that is that community student group when it comes to building that sense of well-being here on our campus, but also making sure that you all have the opportunity to do any kind of community service, whether that be on campus or off campus, but just make sure that you have the opportunity to bring people together, because that's one of the things we often talk about when it comes to the networking building that you can do here, no matter how many years, how many degrees at New Mexico State University. So with that, we're here to also help out when it comes to not only the building we have, the student organizations, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let us know. We want to be able to make sure that we're advocating for you in the best way as possible. And sometimes that's just coming to our area and talking with us, letting us know what your future plans are, what your goals are when it comes to this semester, next year, and how we can help out when it comes to that. One of the areas we often talk about is social capital. So we want to make sure and invest our social capital into you all by having those opportunities to talk about possible internships, possible scholarships, but also the more we get to know you, the better we can advocate for you when it comes to times of scholarships, recommendation letters, job opportunities, or if there's those areas where we know somebody who might be able to be a mentor or be of some service to you, we can try and connect those dots. Because basically, that's one of the biggest things that we do here at a university is connect the dots when it comes to the services, resources, and programs that can help you make this experience that much easier. So you probably remember hearing from the dean of the graduate school about having those conversations at an early time. We want to start bringing in looking beyond the bachelor's degree. We want to have students to look at that master's degree. We want to have students look at that PhD, PsyD, DO, MD, JD, whatever it might be that you're looking at. We always want to make sure that you have those opportunities to talk to somebody, shadow somebody, and see if this is what you really want. We are going to be looking at creating strategic partnerships with other universities, so we're looking at this pathways to the PhD, so that way if you're interested, we can try and make sure that you have those allies that will be there to support you in your endeavors. So a lot of the offices you've been hearing about in our program have been talking about ethnicity, accessibility, or various ways of doing things. We also want to include one of our offices that helps out when things aren't going the way that they should be, and that is the Office of Institutional Equity. And here's the director of the Office of Institutional Equity, Laura Castile, to talk about some of the services and resources that they provide.
Well, thanks for inviting me to say hello to all our new Aggies and returning Aggies. Welcome. The Office of Institutional Equity is located on our main campus in Las Cruces. We're located in the O'Laughlin House, which is located on University Avenue. right across from the big Chick-fil-A at the main crosswalk there across from the Chick-fil-A. So if you ever need to just pop in, please do so. We're there. We have condoms, we have candy, and we are available to help you. We also are staffed right now, so there is someone in the office should anyone need to come by. I know a lot of the offices may not be staffed at the moment, but we are staffed, so please come by if you need anything from us. Our office is system-wide, and so that means that our branch campuses also will get help and support through our office. Our office is designated as the office to investigate all claims of discrimination occurring within the NMSU system. So those claims could be related to Title IX, so claims of sex discrimination, any sexual misconduct claims, sexual assault, inappropriate sexual contact would come to our office. Also, any complaints that would fall under Title VII, racial discrimination, religious discrimination, ethnic discrimination, any of those claims would also be reported to our office. Please keep in mind that if you report something to staff and faculty on campus, they are mandatory reporters, so they will need to report to our office. And we want you to know that the reason we need to report, we need our staff and faculty and you to report to us anything that happens that is impacting your education, is so we can help you, right? We're not going to lock you into some process that you don't want to be a part of for investigating, but we want to be able to help and support you. If we don't know about it, help you. So that's the main reason for us requesting faculty and staff to report, so we can help our students and employees anytime they've believe they have been discriminated against on our campus. In addition, if you are a student with a disability and you have an accommodation through the Student Accessibility Services Office, and you believe that faculty have not honored your accommodations or have failed to accommodate you, you are going to want to work through our office as well, and we can help you come to some resolution with the faculty. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding, sometimes it's a misinterpretation. Our goal is to get it worked out so that you have every opportunity to be successful while you're a student at NMSU. You can make a report to our office online at equity.nmsu.edu. We have an online portal there where you can submit a report to our office and we'll reach out and contact you. Also, if you're a student who may have mobility or accessibility issues, we would encourage you to report anything to our office that is impeding your ability to access your housing, access your classes, so that we can assist you in getting that worked out as well. So we're the Title IX office. We are the office dealing with all forms of discrimination complaints, including Title VII, Title IX, any ADA complaints, any concerns about accessibility. But mainly we're here to support you in your success as a student. We want you to get through your program and be successful, and so we want to help you with anything that's going to get in the way of doing that. So please feel free to reach out to us at any time. Our number is 646-3635, and you can call us at any time and we will get back to you. And like I said, we have our online portal to make reports to our office. There's also a lot of information on our website that may be of interest to you. If you think something has happened to you, you can always call us and talk it through as well. Welcome, Aggies. We're so excited to have you back on campus and can't wait to see about all your success that you have. Thanks so much.
And as we conclude our time here together, We just want to say thank you for being a part of our Aggie family. We want to make sure that you have as easy as possible. Not to say that college is going to be easy, but we can try and make this experience easier. So from my family to your family, thank you for being with us.